not be another 15 to 20 minute video regurgitating the same old information and the same old storyline that has been given to us for the past several years in regards to the soft life. The components that make up a true soft life will not be found in the bottom of a Birkin. They are not found in the empties of your skincare. They are not found in a bubble bath, and they definitely are not one more purchase away. What I mean by that is that the soft life, or being considered a soft woman, has turned into yet another sales pitch that we have bought into. And the whole idea, just like so many other things, is centered around this idea of luxury. And I get it, luxury looks appealing. That's why we're so easily sold on the idea, because it looks aspirational, it looks exclusive, it's the shiny new object that everybody wants to get a piece of, everybody wants to get their hands on. I get it. I've even bought into this idea before. But the thing that we so often miss when we're talking about the concept of luxury is that it does not automatically equal peace. That does not mean that it's going to quiet an anxious mind. It is not going to calm an overstimulated nervous system. It does not teach you how to be present, and it is definitely not going to guarantee that you are going to have more happiness in your life or feel more fulfilled. So grab your water, grab your wine, grab your crackers, grab your seaweed. I don't know what tickles your fancy, but go ahead and grab it and get cozy. And let's go ahead and talk about what the components are that make a truly soft life. When a woman is truly living a soft life, I can guarantee you it is not the clothes that make her the most appealing. And we've probably all been in that situation before, where we've seen a woman and we think, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. She looks so put together. She looks so poised. She looks so confident. It's not the things on the outside that is most appealing in your mind, okay? I promise you, it is not the clothes. It's not the shoes. It's not the jewelry. It's not the makeup. It's not the perfume collection. It's not the car. It's not the house. It's her. It's the woman in the suit. It's her energy. It's her presence. It's her persistence, her balance, the confidence in who she is. But one of her most overlooked qualities is that she possesses fortitude. A woman who possesses fortitude trusts herself enough to get through whatever situation it is that she's going through. I'm going to give you a quick little backstory because I already talked about all of this on this video here. So in April, all of that started in April up until just last week, I've been off of social media. I had to prioritize myself. My health was on the line. Not like that I have serious illness or anything like that going on, but I was under so much stress in my life. I had so much anxiety going on that I started having like chest pain, which put me in the hospital. They started doing a bunch of testing on my heart. Everything was good. Like, I'm good, I'm healthy. When it comes to social media, we all know if you don't post, you probably are not going to get views. I'm a content creator, so of course this did weigh on me a little bit. However, I say all that to say, when you are forced to sit down and you're forced to go into a season of reflection, a lot of the things that you begin to reflect on and a lot of the questions that you begin to ask yourself start to explain the behavior that you had prior to needing to sit down or being forced to sit down. As my mind began to pull away from the external distractions, and I really did go into that reflection, which is unavoidable, quite honestly, I started asking myself things like, what choices could I have made differently? Did I give too much of myself? Did I abandon myself trying to show up for everybody else? Why didn't I speak up when something bothered me? What have I been trying to outrun? Or specifically in this case, why was I not aware, or what was hindering me from being aware of my physical health at that point, or my physical state? Well, in my time that I was forced to sit down, I had a very encouraging revelation happen. The bravest and most confident women are women who experience hardship just like you. They experience difficult seasons just like you. They are women whose mental strength can withstand time and circumstance. A woman who truly understands the concept of living a soft life understands that life is going to throw you curveballs. She understands that life is going to be hard in some seasons. And that is why she has made it up in her mind that she will not approach these seasons and look at it as a failure. Sometimes you do have to be still. There's absolutely no need to rush through a season of life just because you're afraid that your explanation won't be timely or that you feel like you'll fall behind. You will develop some characteristics that you never even thought that you would develop when you are in that season when nobody is watching. In just 2 words, Socrates gave us one of the greatest principles to navigating this here thing we call life, and that is to question everything. And unfortunately, I think we as a people have forgotten how important it is to question everything. Think about it like this. We see a video on social media, that video goes viral. At that point, that video receives an automatic stamp of approval. It becomes fact, it becomes the blueprint, it becomes something that we feel we should be doing just as much as that person is. But popularity has never been proof of the truth. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of videos right now that you can search online that discuss what it means to live a soft life. And a lot of those videos are probably going to mention things like romanticize your life, slow down, create intentional routines, read more, eat slower, be present, be more mindful. And are these things bad? Absolutely not, because I have most certainly implemented a lot of these things into my personal life. Now let's pause. Let's specifically talk about slowing down. When we talk about the conversation of living a softer life, we are always thinking about the slowing down aspect. This is where the conversation gets a little interesting, okay? Everything in our world right now is designed to move fast. Fast money, fast success, fast relationships, fast results, faster gratification, more. I want more. I want the next thing. So how can we genuinely embrace living that softer lifestyle and being more present and slowing down and being more intentional if we live in a society that is constantly pushing and telling us, well, you need more. This is not enough. What you have is not going to suffice. We can't. Not unless we learn to protect our mind. The woman truly living the soft life, she has developed something incredibly valuable, and that is she has developed an impenetrable mind. Not an arrogant mind, not a closed off mind, an impenetrable mind, meaning that she is someone who questions everything. She doesn't blindly accept every single message that's given to her. She questions it. She evaluates it. Then she decides whether or not that is something that even deserves space in her mind. Now, here's the thing, and this is where discernment is really going to come into play. All influence is not bad. There are some books out there that really encourage us to change our lives. There are some podcasts that we listen to that give us encouragement. There are some creators out there who genuinely want to help others grow. There are some conversations that really challenge us in the best possible way. But where that impenetrable mind comes in is when you're dealing with influences that cause you to have dissatisfaction within yourself. The influence that tells you to question your life that you were perfectly happy with yesterday. Now it's telling you to question that today because it doesn't seem like it's enough. It's the influence that makes you feel like you're behind. The influence that tells you that you can go ahead and spend even though you know it's not within your budget. So then you're going to be over consuming and overspending and you just don't even have it like that. And that's where that mental damage begins. Truth be told, we cannot fault the influencer or the person who is giving out influence at that moment, wherever we're receiving it from, because they haven't technically done anything wrong. It is our responsibility. We stopped questioning what it was that we were consuming. And that right there is the greater issue. A true soft life is not about copying someone else's lifestyle. It is about being comfortable enough for you to create your own, living at your own pace, validating yourself, trusting your own desires, trusting your own decisions, and feeling at home in your own life. And the only way to do that is by creating a stronger mental environment, one that does not allow every trend, every opinion, every aesthetic, every viral video to dictate how you feel about yourself. So question everything. Question what you're consuming. Question what you're aspiring to. Question what you're being sold. Question whether you suddenly feel like what you have in your life isn't enough. During my break from social media, I did not get online. I have to be truthful here. I have to be honest. I had an urge, okay? I had an urge for about the first 3 weeks to just get on TikTok real quick or get on YouTube. And that's because habits have a way of trying to bring us back. I don't know. I guess as the days went on, I just knew that I needed to stay away. I definitely was not in a place of peace in my life. I was not balanced. If I saw the wrong post, it probably would have triggered me. Well, what happens every time you choose to resist temptation? Every time you choose not to react, every time you choose not to consume, every time you choose to delay gratification, you get a little stronger. And you get a little stronger. And then after that, guess what? You're going to get a little stronger, because fighting temptation builds discipline, and discipline over time develops self-restraint. And self-restraint is what is needed in order to live a life of moderation. When you live in moderation, you never feel cheated. You never feel like you missed out on something. You never feel deprived. And that is why a woman who truly lives a soft life exercises temperance. Temperance is what makes living in moderation possible. So you're able to enjoy social media for 15 minutes. But then if you know that you've only given yourself a 15-minute block, at that point, your mind is like, nope, no more. I know that I have other things to do. So you're able to enjoy, you're able to indulge, but you're not going to over consume in that moment. Same thing with, sometimes we like to sit on the couch and watch TV. If you have a binge-worthy show that you want to watch, but you only can allow yourself 2 hours to do it, then you're going to watch TV for that 2 hours, and then you're going to get up because you know that you have other responsibilities that you need to take care of. Hear me when I say life is meant to be enjoyed. We are supposed to experience it. We're supposed to try new cuisines. We are supposed to build new friendships. We are supposed to laugh so hard that we damn near pee on ourselves. We are meant to love deeply. We are meant to create new memories, but we're also meant to grow. We're meant to reflect. We're meant to use discernment. We're meant to spend time alone in our thoughts. We're meant to develop discipline. Soft life is not constantly giving into indulgences. That is not what we're doing. We are not saying yes to every single desire. It is about balance. It is about moderation. It is about knowing when to participate in the world and when to go ahead and pull away from it. When to indulge, when to restrain yourself, when to speak, and when to be silent. And that balance is only possible through temperance. Obviously, I have had to change my camera angle because I'm so excited. My couches are about to be delivered, y'all. Oh my God. Earlier, I mentioned that we are supposed to enjoy life. That is what we are placed here for. That is what we are meant to do in this time on earth, in this physical body, having this physical experience. We are supposed to laugh. We are supposed to love. We are supposed to build community. But I also mentioned something else. We are meant to be alone in our thoughts and getting to know who we are. We are constantly evolving at every stage of life. So at every stage of life, you are going to have to get to know yourself a little bit more each and every time you go into another season or another phase of life. With that being said, a woman who truly understands what it means to live a soft life, she has a greater appreciation for solitude. To gain more comfortability with yourself, to become more confident in who you are, you're going to have to go into that quiet time with yourself and actually get to know the person that you're trying to become, essentially, because you already are that person deep down, especially when you have that feeling within your gut, like you know you're supposed to be doing something different. You know that you feel like you're in a different season already, but you just have to unlock one extra little quality in order to get there. So in order to do that, you do go into that quiet time with yourself and you get to know who you are and who you're developing into. Solitude is where that self-discovery lives. That is where you gain more clarity about yourself. That is where you find your true identity. We live in a world where things are trending every single day. Every single day we see a new video, a new viral moment that is telling us, well, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should have. These are the qualities that you should live by. So there is always something within our forefront telling us to do different or be different. And it is easy to lose sight of who you truly are. It is easy to get that over influence that I talked about a little bit ago. There are good influences and there are bad influences. We consume all of this information and then we find ourselves unsure of who we are. We don't even know the things that we like anymore. We have forgotten what we truly enjoy. We have lost sight of what we genuinely value in our own lives. So if you truly desire to live a soft life, you are going to have to get comfortable with yourself. You are going to have to go into those darker, deeper places of your mind and truly find healing and find your own identity. And here's the thing, it is scary. It is scary to have to go into those deeper, darker parts of our mind. And that's honestly why a lot of the times we avoid those places and we allow the distractions to come into our lives because we don't want to go into the deepest, darkest parts of our mind. It takes courage to really face head on the things that you keep mentally boxed in because either they are traumatizing, either they're scary, or they're just things that you don't want to deal with or you're not emotionally ready to deal with. Now you're forced to deal with things like insecurity, jealousy, envy, fears, disappointment, unresolved emotion. Every single one of us has had challenges in our lives. Not one of us is excluded from going through a trial or a tribulation at some point in this lifetime. However, the thing that differs between you and the woman who truly is living her soft life, has embraced it, she understands all of the components of it. She has taken the time to go in and do the work. She has learned what her triggers are. She has learned what her wounds were and how to heal them properly. She has identified her weakness within herself. When you've done the work, you do not need to react to everything. You don't have to defend yourself constantly. And that is what separates a truly soft woman. We can actually experience life. Yes, there are going to be a lot of stressors that come into play, but someone who has balance, someone who has done the work, does not need to react. And that is why a lot of us spend so much time being upset and being bothered, is because we have reacted to something that has made us feel upset. But when you know how to emotionally process the right kind of way, you don't have to worry about this. You are a woman already living that soft life, or you're a woman who wants to truly live that soft life and wants to have a full understanding of what that truly is. You have to have contentment, my dear. And I feel like contentment is one of the most misunderstood qualities in the world, because what we're taught is, well, if you're going to be content, you don't want anything. You're not ambitious. You have no goals. You don't want to move further in your life. You don't want to grow. And that is not what that is. Contentment is not about settling. Okay. It is not about giving up on your goals. Contentment just says that I am going to stop withholding joy in my life. You have to decide what kind of win you're going to live by in your life. So you can live by the win, W-H-E-N, when I get the car, when I get the house, when I get the dog, when I can go on vacation, when I can just, get my life together and feel like I'm in a better place. The win, the win, the win, the win. You're constantly living in the future. You are telling yourself that I cannot be happy right now until I reach the win. And the win statement, hello, is only for a brief moment in time. So then what happens? You're going to add another win. Well, when this next thing happens, then I can have happiness. That is not how you want to live your life. You want to live your life by the big W, okay? The big W, the W-I-N. I am going to win every single day in my life. I am going to win at every opportunity that I have, even if it's just a simple day. It's a simple, ordinary day. I'm going to win at it. Why? Because now I know how to have that solitude. Now I know how to be content. Now I know how I can be in my environment. And even though it may be simple, even though it may be ordinary, I am finding beauty within that space. We are going to have more ordinary days and more simple days than anything else. We have to learn to start appreciating the small victories every single day. We have to start appreciating the slowness within our lives, because what are we rushing for? There is only one ending to everybody's story. We might not live the same exact life. We might not currently have the same experiences. However, each and every one of us are going to have the same exact ending. It is the inevitable. So why are you rushing to that ending? Find the happiness in the every single day. When I had to sit down and take this break, I had to start finding happiness within the every single day, finding peace within the every single day, even in the monotony of things that happen during my day, the regular routines, the same thing. I still found joy in those moments, in slowing down and being content. I actually found more happiness in my life. I love and appreciate the idea of the soft life. I truly do. I feel like the concept has given a lot of women all over the world a chance to try to live a different life. But I don't like the performative soft life. I don't like what the soft life has turned into on social media, because it makes women feel as though they cannot have that life until they buy more and more and consume more and more. The soft life has nothing to do with the exterior. It has nothing to do with the materialistic aspects. And I get it. It looks pretty. It looks like, oh my gosh, I want to do that too. I want to have those things too. But you have to understand what the root of the soft life actually means. And that is why I wanted to give you some different perspective today, giving you the true components of what it means to live a soft life. Because again, this is all internal work. This is a mindset thing. This is your perspective on life. So I hope that you guys were able to receive something today. Maybe you did not think about the soft life in this way until today. And so I hope that you found something valuable. I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, or you feel like you have a girlfriend or a mom or sister, aunt, whoever that can benefit from watching this video, make sure you share. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Again, I'm so happy to be back. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. But anyway, I will catch you guys next week. Until next time, bye.